touch the light, the heat I see in your eyes, in your eyes, in your eyes, in your eyes.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
It's the first day of fall.
I know. Wow.
And I have to show you something.
Anybody else feel like the year's kind of gone a little fast?
Our friend Monica.
Closer. Ooh, reflecting. Tea bag. Dee hanging off the side of the cup.
Yep.
It's so
So, thanks, Mon.
We're gonna
It's
be
my
mentioning-
screensaver. I
we're
should
gonna-
pay you a royalty.
Yeah. We'll mention you today in this vlog.
What a week.
I know.
Oof.
I know we had actually all three of my brothers here for a period of time. So all four of us siblings were together again for the first time since Christmas.
Yeah, you know, it was so wild as I was really feeling like that we're all on the journey together.
Yeah.
I really got a feeling of that this week.
And it felt auspicious because it's also a period of time where we are honoring our ancestors.
Pichupaksha. Yeah.
Right. So, it's very cool.
Wow. And Channel Islands.
Tuesday?
Yeah.
Tuesday. Today's Thursday. Yes.
They'll be seeing this on Friday.
Cal State Channel Islands. Cal State University Channel Islands. Tuesday. Psychology class. Over 100 students. And the most amazing professor, whom we now not only have the hugest respect for, with her brilliance and her knowledge of psychology, but also consider her a dear friend now.
Yeah.
Thank you, Michelle. We got invited to speak to the class, her class, and I loved it.
Oh, it's so much
I
fun.
loved it. It's really been so rewarding to speak to groups, and I would say that within the presentation itself and also with the people who came up to us, the students who came up to us afterwards, I know I heard at least 6 times, "Thank you for opening my eyes."
Yeah, and it's so weird because they're young kids and you think, oh, they're millennials and they're going to rule the world. And they're,
Yeah.
you know, so they
But-
already know this stuff, but no.
Well, also with the sharing and our game we play with them, we do get to see, depending on culture and how people are raised and what kind of family and society they're in, there's still plenty of concepts that are out there that affect how we think, whether we're 19 or 119. So it's just so fun, though, to see that.
Oh, it was.
To see the light go off and people go, oh. And do you think we can recapture what the one student said at the end? I loved what he said.
Yeah, you've been doing it better than me. I was too busy crying.
Oh, he was just amazing. He said, it's really been great to see the two of you and see the work you've done, how much you love each other. This is paraphrasing. But he said, now I really see how even unconsciously or unintentionally we can say things to transgender people that are very disrespectful. And the questions we ask them or the things we say to them. And now I'll be more aware when I'm around friends and be able to catch them and let them know. And also that that it's a real lesson about love, and that love doesn't hang on sexuality or having sex in a relationship, even that love is love.
It was so beautiful.
Love is love.
Yeah, that was we ended on his words.
Of course.
Well,
It's
just-
like,
we just
there's
went,
a good place to
Mic
stop.
drop.
We did it. So thank you to Professor Moon. Thank
Oh,
you
yes.
to you students.
Channel Islands, woohoo!
Yeah. One of our best, most exciting times yet. I mean,
Yeah.
just to see, to have the young minds, to have their participation, to have their interest. I mean, when I would look out into those faces, they were engaged, they were aware, they were paying attention, they played with us, they listened, they shared deeply.
Well, I felt like we could do something there too. I mean, when we talk to the gender studies classes, a lot of times we're kind of the case study, you know. In this case, we were able to actually be a case study, but also to help them understand, and they want to. We each have a stake in what we're saying. As transgender community, we have a stake in what psychologists are saying or know about us, because they're like still the gatekeepers on a lot of levels, and they saw us as furthering their education. So it was wonderful. I was stoked out of my mind, you know. That was cool. Well, shall we read?
Shall we read from your book, Getting Back to Me, From Girl to Boy to Woman in Just 50 Years?
I don't, okay. This is really, I'm still off with how to operate in front of this camera. It's so backwards. It's not like a normal camera.
Yeah.
So that's why we're...
Try it sometime. I mean, it's not like looking in a mirror.
You can't rub your belly and pat your chest.
No, it's like, oh, wait, I want to fix my hair. No, wait.
Anyways. Okay, so
not
this
bad
is...
for a former camera person. Hello.
Well, it's not like... It doesn't operate like a camera. Anyways. So this is chapter 21. Right? Yes? No, chapter 21.
21.
Courtin Favor. And this
A
is...
double entendre, as usual.
As usual. Marcy accompanied me to get my actual court order, which changes everything. It's the one piece that you need to say, okay, change that M to an F, and change that name to Scottie Jeanette Christine Madden.
Then I can get a new license and a passport and all that.
New birth certificate.
Who knew?
Crazy. So we had just got it. I had just kissed Marcy goodbye because she accompanied me.
After the court stamped the approval.
Yes, which is quite comical, but we'll save
That's
that.
a whole other story. Yeah, get the book so you can read it. So
that's right. And then went to my very first job interview as Scottie, as full-blown Scottie.
Full-blown.
Yep. And it was funny because it was for a show I so wanted. It was for One Republic. A band was going to tour the Middle East. I thought, okay, well, I got my court order just in time to wear a hijab. Okay. But I'm noticing something. I'm different in this interview. I usually close the deal as the cocky gunslinger with world traveler swagger, who usually does all the question asking to decide if this company is worthy of my time. Not the other way around. But I have grown weary of being the slinger of guns, dealing with all the same old answers and challenges of practicality that production companies feel make them sound experienced. The road is the road, and it's unforgiving of television's adolescent behavior. Only the smart or rich make it out alive, and I'm tired of being smart. And I'm really tired of having to outsmart the production company to keep a crew alive and safe. Just remember Amazon. I'm also sick of my swagger. Hard won or not, it's still bullshit boy bravado. The best women showrunners in the biz aren't gunslingers, but savvy, creative, and cool. My friend Monica doesn't need to act with bravado, and she's respected for bringing the story home. I should be able to do that too. She would expect that of me.
Yeah, but she worked on such wimpy shows like Whale Wars and
Deadliest Catch. And,
yeah. I mean, there was no challenge there. What the heck? Yeah. But one thing that we're also, I mean, when did you write this?
2015.
Right. And part of and it came out in November.
Yes.
Right? And for a while there, you were actually waiting so that the final chapter could bring us full circle and you would have a new showrunner job as a woman. It's now September 2016 without a job. So, anyone we've shared that with, including your new agent, thank you, Susan.
Hi, Susan.
And other people in the biz or even not in the biz will gee, I hope it's not because you transitioned. That would just be the pits. But it's a little hard. Definitely the reality world has changed, and a lot of the things we hear about that do go on now in reality shows and shoots, neither of us would probably want you involved with, even if you were still a gunslinger. They're just bad because of low budgets and really pushes.
Rush timelines.
Yeah. Not fun. But they're not all gone. There's still a bunch of shows out there.
I can't let some of these guys off the hook. I mean, as much as I tried to be respectful and not say anything, I heard some freaking out and out bullshit.
Well, about you or
about me? About why I wasn't going to get the job.
Like
we found somebody more qualified.
Oh, right. That's really fine. I mean, you're probably one of at least the top 5
there's 5 of us. So the other 4 were working at the time.
There's only 5 shows, right?
That's right. I knew where the other.
There's only 5 shows.
So I wanted to meet this girl, and then
there's only 4 shows. So
and there was one show I was up for the showrunner for a transgender show.
Yeah, but you have no experience with that.
I know.
Why would? Yeah. So, suffice to say that I do kind of think it might be because of that.
Mm-hmm.
However, I'm going to turn the tide on you a little bit now based on what we're talking about. I mean, I think that's sad and scary, and I hope it's not true, but I think it is true. At the same time, I would like to also just say that maybe it's because we're supposed to be on a different track. We're doing this work. It's as someone said to us the other day, maybe our calling. This is maybe why we're here. And I like that we led with the Channel Islands experience, because we get to see that we really not only can make a difference, but we are, and hope to continue to on a grander scale. I think we'd both love for you to get a great show to run still. And fun, great things are happening on your TV series concept that you're starting to pitch based on the book. So it does feel like our tide is turning. But that, like you said, doesn't let people off the hook for not hiring you.
Yeah, I think there's okay, so there's a lot of things in there that I'd love to unpack. But I think the biggest one is that I don't want anybody to think that we're doing the work that we're doing with like Channel Islands on default.
Absolutely
no.
No, that's what I'm saying. This may
this is manna from
be our
heaven
new
from
direction
Marcy.
or part of it. I
Yeah.
mean, I think the other. Let me just interject. I know you're saying something, but I don't think we have to choose.
That's the point.
Right.
That's the absolute.
We can do it all.
Yeah, and so one is not default from the other. You know, the way that you introed me in Channel Islands was, I'm sure Scottie would have loved to just go off and live her life now as a normal woman, but she wrote a book. And one of the things that we're finding, because of the reactions to the book and the way people are loving it, and how people are going to include it in their workshop, and is that I've been able to articulate, and now we together have been able to articulate what a lot of people are experiencing. They just didn't have any words for it, or if they did, it took a lot longer, or we're able to zero in and say, this is what's going on. And so that's why we always get points, so to speak, for our candor and our honesty, which is, as we were talking last night, it's a little odd when people say that. We're just being ourselves. So we're not going, should I say this? We're just, blah, because our hearts are open, and everybody else's heart opens in response to that. I'd like to someday, not this vlog, talk about women and roles of women, particularly in reality TV and the way that they're regarded. I mean, something that broke my heart yesterday on the radio was the analysis that in the debates coming up, that it doesn't matter what Hillary says, her ideas don't matter. It matters how people like her. And that sums up being a woman in the world today.
She's told to smile more
Trump is
Trump would
seen as
never be
being
told.
aggressive, and we want the aggressive guy. That primal instinct inside that people default to. They know it's not right, but they default to it
Also,
anyways.
she's being held to higher standards.
Completely.
For the debate, even.
There's
like
no person
if he survives,
in the
he's done well.
Yeah, exactly. Well, as Jon Stewart says, he didn't shit on himself, so
It's a
for
good
him.
day.
It's good for him. He gets points for that. There's never in the history of the presidency ever been somebody more qualified than Hillary to be the president. The people were more qualified than FDR? Yes, more qualified than FDR. More qualified than Ike? Yes, more qualified than Ike. They had one track that got them there, and she has had to do all of those tracks. But
Anyway,
That's-
off of politics, please.
yeah, yes.
We love you all.
But what I want to talk about, and the reason why this chapter was so important, was that I noticed that I had already started to change my outward relationship with the world.
Already being as of when? What do you mean when you say
At that interview.
Ah,
You know, when I was able to step fully forward, it was almost like I crossed that threshold. And I wrote that chapter from memory. So I was looking backwards at and realizing how my demeanor had changed. What I was writing about was my, wow. Because for the last 5 years, every job I got by interviewing them. I didn't interview me. I went and said, are you going to be able to do this, 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 and this? And I'm not bringing a crew out unless you do this, this, and this. And then a lot of times, that was a negotiating point. Not, will you run our show?
Mm-hmm.
It was, please run our show. But I wasn't, that wasn't out of ego. I was like, after our experiences for Bamazon, I was never going to make that mistake again.
Yeah, because speaking of Monica again, she's still paying the price.
She's still paying the price.
Injury.
For hubris and ego and lack of
risk management, welfare.
Exactly. So I'm not taking a crew out anymore unless my crew can be protected. And I didn't know how we hadn't been protected in that instance, right?
Yeah, because it was also fraud. Oops.
Yeah, oops. Did we say that out loud?
I did.
But I didn't go into that interview that way. I went into that interview thinking, how would Monica do this? I wished I had been, I think I just, by osmosis of working with her and working with several of the other women that I really respect as showrunners, I realized this is my chance to be one of us and not be arrogant in here and not, pee on trees and do all these other stupid boy things in there. And I felt the change. So that's, that's the part that's gratifying.
Yeah. So, though it's been very strange, I guess what I'm coming back to is 2 points. We can't let people off the hook on the one hand, and, it feels like some of the interviews you've had more recently have been really favorable and promising and good. I mean, even to the point where one executive producer said, I'd rather have a woman showrunner because we can keep an overview as well as pay attention to detail and fewer things fall through the cracks.
And that meant
so
she was accepting me as a woman.
Yeah, exactly, completely.
Yeah.
So I don't think that door has closed. I just think maybe healthier, better ones have opened because of all this. It's still annoying. The phase we've been through for the past over a year, almost a year of having the door closed.
Yeah, it's funny. I was feeling like I didn't want to go back into that subject, but you pulled us back there, and that's because it's so strong for us.
Yeah. Yeah, and again, though, I want us to stick to the positive signs of the other doors that are opening. I mean, I don't want to say it's cliched. That's even wrong to say. It's really a deep spiritual teaching that when one door closes, another door opens.
And that's how it is in your heart, though. That's what we're talking about now. Is I had to close the door of being a slinger of guns.
Well, and a lot of other things, the saddlebags. We can refer back to our Jesse James horse analogy, but the things that we carry. And I think this period of time has also given us the chance to look at that. Again, just crash landing, dropping into this space. I also think one of the things that touched me most, we did a survey after our presentation at Channel Islands on Tuesday. And one of the students said that, because we asked a question of what did you like most, right?
What moment touched you?
What moment touched you? The student said just the way that we looked at each other with love, and that it was so strong, they could feel it in the audience. And I thought, if that's our brand, baby, bring it. Because light, laughter, and love is that's our banner, that's our logo, that's our masthead. So it's on our products. Oh, sorry. I love it. It's like the Car Talk Shameless
Commerce Division.
But it is because it's so special to us. It was also kind of cute that when one of the questions was, what would you like to know more of? The student mentioned a couple things and then said, and Zuzu.
I want to know more about Zuzu. Yeah.
It was cute. So I think we're at the onward and upward stage now, right? Is
Yep.
there anything more you wanted to say about any of this?
Well, I wanted to talk deeper about the change, but let's do that next time.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's a
Okay.
good tease.
Tease.
Good toss, a tease.
Mhm.
Yeah. Because today is what?
First day of fall.
So can we send them to Monica's
We should send them to Monica's. Go to Monica's Etsy store. It's
Etsy?
I'm going to put it up on the screen. It's right here. Go there because Monica's art is warms your heart and blows your mind.
So she's an amazing showrunner
and artist.
and an amazing artist and
an
a dear
amazing
friend
woman.
and inspiration.
Amazing woman.
And I hope you're continuing to heal and get past your injuries, Monica. Anyway, we won't go there, poor thing. Poor thing, but that's like saying poor thing to an Amazon woman who's the strongest woman you've ever met.
Yes, she is the strongest woman.
Yeah, she could have been the understudy for.
Xena, Warrior Princess.
Thank you.
How did I know that's what you were going to say?
I don't know. My P1 protein's kicking in. So.
Okay. Is there an out here somewhere?
I'm not explaining that one yet. So yeah, I
All
think we're good for now, right?
Radiate light, laughter, and love.
Radiate light, laughter, and love. And see you next week.
See you next time.
Bye.
I